and welcome back to the channel. I'm Nale from The Watch Scientists, and I have a very exciting video for you today as we are filming the full Sedna Gold Speedmaster from OMEGA. Now this is a very exciting watch as it's on its own a very legendary watch. Now the simple Speedmaster has been on all 6 lunar landings from NASA, so it is a watch that is really quite important when it comes to the history of a watch, and that's what's so exciting about OMEGA as a brand in general. It's a brand that really has this pioneering spirit, and what better watch than the Speedmaster, obviously from all different kind of families. I would say the Speedmaster is really the watch with the most significant history for mankind, and that is why this watch is so special. Now I have the simple steel version of the Speedmaster on Hasselite, but what is so beautiful with this one, and let me get the gloves actually, is the Sedna Gold from OMEGA. Now, Sedna Gold is the name that OMEGA has given its alloy. So with Sedna Gold being an alloy, we have a lot of copper and palladium in the mix to get this beautiful rose gold color. As you know, guys, rose golds or different types of golds can change from brand to brand. That's why brands tend to give their gold a specific name, and that's Sedna Gold. In the case of OMEGA, and this is really a stunning colorway that they have put on this watch. When I first saw it on Instagram when it came out, the first thing I said is, this has to be one of the most beautiful watches I have ever seen, and I can assure you that I was not disappointed when I first saw it in real life, because it's just such a stunning watch. Now, the OMEGA Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, already on its own, just design-wise, not considering the different metals that it comes in, is a stunning looking watch. The new one that I got as well, I can't stop looking at it. The dimensions, although it's still a 42mm watch, they completely kind of changed the way it wears on the wrist. It's a much more refined product, and we'll come to talk about that in a second. But as a whole, it's just such a good watch, such a good looking piece. It's a bit thinner than the old version, and it sits so much better on the wrist. Honestly, I tried the old version, especially on steel bracelet, and it was just too big for my quite small wrist, but this just fits so good. The way the locks curve onto your wrist, and then this new slim bracelet with this vintage type clasp is just stunning, absolutely stunning, honestly. The clasp is small, it is neat, the way it works, the way it sounds. It is just nicely engineered. And all these little details combined together make it a good watch. But what makes this watch so much more special, apart from the gold, we have a sapphire crystal, so the sapphire sandwich, as we like to call it, on both sides. So we have sapphire crystal on the front, obviously, and sapphire crystal on the back. For those of you who don't know, sapphire crystal is obviously a very scratch resistant glass, which is practical. And the thing is, if you get a professional moonwatch on sapphire crystal, what you get is an open case back, so that is really incredible. It's just such a beauty to look at. And what we have inside is the new caliber 3861 from OMEGA. So it is based on the previous generation 1861, but it is so much better in many different aspects. Now, apart from the power reserve that went from 48 hours to 50 hours in this watch, we have the all famous Coaxial Escapement from OMEGA in this watch, and it is really hard to explain for those who don't know what the Coaxial Escapement is. I don't really have the time in this video to explain it, but if you would like me to explain it in a separate video, then do leave a comment down below. Now, apart from the coaxial, we have a master chronometer certification for this watch, which is, for me, the most striking aspect, the most important aspect of this new movement, which is, by the way, manual wind. Obviously, we have manual wind movement. It's a moonwatch. The reason why, for those who don't know, the reason why we have a manual wound movement in the moonwatch is because in space, obviously, there's no gravity, and so having an automatic movement with a rotor wouldn't make much sense, because the rotor wouldn't have the necessary force to rotate and generate energy within the watch, and that's why we need a manual wound movement in the moonwatch. In case you want to go to space, you can wind it and you can be sure that your speedy will be working. Now, apart from that, the master chronometer certification is incredible. It means that the watch has two certifications, so the COSC certification and the METAS certification, which means basically that your watch is, for one, super precise, and secondly, that it is very resistant, and most importantly, very resistant to magnetic fields of up to 15,000 Gauss. Now, you might think, why is that important? Why do I need such a high magnetic resistance? Well, in today's world, we are surrounded more and more by batteries, phones, computers, and whatever. And these magnetic fields interact with your watch and can derail the precision of an automatic or a mechanical watch. You have to think that these watches are made of hundreds of tiny pieces that work in perfect synchrony, basically, to show you the exact time. And so if there are too high magnetic fields, this will disturb the watch, and this will not allow it to work at its highest capacity, at its highest precision. And that's why anti-magnetic watches become more and more important in this day and age. Now, apart from the technical stuff of movements and all that, what is so good with this watch in general is that this alloy, this beautiful Sedna Gold with copper and palladium, just creates such a beautiful glare. I mean, it is crazy how different golds change between brands, but this is definitely one of the most beautiful. And I'm not saying that because I work for Omega. It's simply, if you see it in real life, it's a completely different thing anyways. I mean, it's like with most things, but all these elements combined together, the fact that this watch has such a history, it is not just any full rose gold watch. It is a full Sedna Gold Omega Speedmaster professional moonwatch, and the fact that there's so much history behind it just makes it so good and so reliable with the new movement and everything. So we have history, the pioneering spirit of Omega, plus the aesthetics. I mean, it can't get any better, and if I could afford it, I would be all over it immediately. But yes, I mean, we have a beautiful chronograph here, and honestly, one of the best chronographs there is on the market. So that's it from me today, guys. I can't stop staring at this thing. That's it from me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Leave a comment of what you think of the watch, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Ciao.